All right, Kim, what is our second main topic today?
All right, this comes from Timothy Amdurski. Hey, John, I know you didn't love the first couple episodes of Hawkeye, and I can understand why. But I just finished watching episode 3, and I think it really picked things up. The car chase scene was top level, the Echo stuff was great, and who the hell is the uncle? I mean, it can't be, can it? Anyway, did you like episode 3 and any more than the first 2 episodes? Thanks.
All right, thanks for sending that in, Timothy. Yeah, look, you're not wrong. I didn't love the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye. I didn't think they were steaming piles of garbage. Like, I didn't hate it. It's just that
You were a Grinch.
look, the reality is it's a show called Hawkeye, and the first 2 episodes were not about Hawkeye. No, sorry, there's no debating that.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It is a show called Hawkeye, and it wasn't about Hawkeye. And it's difficult to really get into a show. We talked about this with Snake Eyes, the movie, I was so excited for Snake Eyes. I love Henry Golding, but it's hard to like a movie when your main character isn't all that likable. And I just didn't like Kate Bishop very much. She's not very intelligent. She's not super skilled. She has no kind of anyway. And I love Haley Steinfeld. I love her. Love Haley, but didn't love the first thing. It had some things going for it, didn't love it. So it was with some apprehension that Ray and I sat down last night.
You weren't even going to do it.
I wasn't even going to do it, but everybody wanted me to keep watching it, so I did. So Ray, me, our buddy Ryan, and Ann, we sat down and watched Hawkeye episode 3 last night. And I'll say this, it's a step up.
Thank you.
It was a better episode. I'm not going to sit here and say I loved the episode, but I can legitimately say I like this episode of Hawkeye. You know what? First of all, it was about Hawkeye. So that's a step in the right direction.
True.
Imagine that. The episode was actually about the character that the show is named after. Fantastic. But no, all the stuff with Echo, and again, we're not going to go into big spoilers here, but the stuff with Echo was great. And it's very much in the vein of how the Disney Plus Marvel shows have gone. You get introduced to a character in one episode. Yeah. Next episode starts with the background story of that character. And it was done very well. It was done very well. I'm just going to tell you about a scene that's there. It doesn't give away any plot details, but like seeing that little girl conversing with her father was a wonderful scene. Wonderful scene. I loved it. And then again, that car chase scene, which they put that car chase scene, a big chunk of it, out as a preview a number of weeks ago. So they put that out they dropped that sequence online a long time ago. Seeing it actually play out in its full context was great. That was a great scene. I loved it. So I really, really did enjoy it. I like getting more into that stuff. The things about the first 2 episodes I liked was Hawkeye struggling with his emotional damage and his physical damage. Remember, Hawkeye is not a superhuman. He's a regular human guy. And with all the stuff he's been through, his body is now showing the wears and tears of what he's been through as a regular human. And so this episode really went into that a lot. And I thought they played it up really well. And then, of course, Hawkeye's conversations with Echo. I thought some of the stuff Echo was saying to him was really, really cool, especially as it pertains to his physical damage.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, did I love it? Was I jumping up and down about it? No, but man, it sure felt nice being able to say to myself, I liked this episode. This was good. So I'll tell you what, if this show can continue going down the path that episode 3 had us in, and kind of steer away from what episode 2 was. And guess what? I liked Kate Bishop more in this episode.
Yay, I was just going to ask you that.
Because they didn't make her the key main person in the spotlight. She became an extremely significant supporting character, and she worked on that level much better to me, anyway, as an individual than she did in the first 2. Now, look, obviously I know moving forward, we're now halfway through the show. Think about that. We're already halfway through Hawkeye. There's only 3 episodes left. I totally know they're going to, of course, swing a spotlight at some point back to Kate Bishop as well. That's fine. But it just felt really good making this a little bit more Clint focused. And that worked for me. And then, of course, the headlines everywhere. Uncle's going to pick you up. Uncle's going to pick you up. All right. We're going to go more into this on, of course, the Hawkeye open spoiler discussion, which will, of course, be later today at 4 p.m. If you 4 p.m. Los Angeles time, come back for this. But I have to at least address this one thing quickly. So, if you have not seen Hawkeye episode 3 yet, get ready to mute your computer, okay? Because I'm going to put up my hand.
Here's a Sharpie. Write spoiler on your hand.
Yeah, maybe I'm just going to raise my hand. And as long as my hand up, we may be talking about a spoiler, okay? Once my hand goes down, then you're good. If you're listening to this in a podcast format, skip ahead 1 minute because I won't talk any more than a minute about this, all right? Ready? I've warned you. Mute if you need to. Here we go. That's fucking Kingpin.
Yeah, duh. They better not pull a Wanda and have it be like just someone's uncle.
Awesome if it is. That's awesome if they do. If they pull a because remember, everybody was totally convinced that was Quicksilver, and I told everybody it wasn't, and it wasn't. They are clearly teasing us that this is Kingpin. Look, it wasn't until about 2 or 3 months ago that I started to realize having, Big Vinny D'Onofrio, who was born to play Wilson Fisk. Up until about 2 or 3 months ago, when I started saying, well, it could be possible now with the rights reverting, blah, blah, blah. Before that, I'm like, look, Kevin Feige's never going to have these in. Kevin Feige doesn't play with other people's sloppy seconds. Kevin Feige doesn't do this, and Kevin Feige does that. And he doesn't. But it wasn't until a little while ago that I was like, well, maybe this could happen, and blah, 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 blah. I have no doubt. Look, I have no insider information, but I have no doubt that's Kingpin. And it's Vincent D'Onofrio. And I'll tell you what else, too. I'm more excited about that than I am about Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire reprising the roles of Spider-Man.
You are?
I am. Totally. This guy was born to play Wilson Fisk. Vincent D'Onofrio playing Wilson Fisk is one of my favorite things I've seen on TV in a long time. He was my favorite part of Daredevil. All due respect to Charlie Cox, who's awesome as Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin is my favorite part of that show. And so this opens up a lot of possibilities. Things. Okay, we're going to now stop talking about it. The hand is going down. Spoilers are done. Okay, so anyway, and we'll go into a much more about that on the open spoiler discussion a little bit later today. But for that reason, several others, more of a focus on Hawkeye, really good action, expanding the story, giving us background on Echo, all those reasons. This was a truly properly put together episode of a Marvel Disney Plus show. It gave me a little bit more of the feels of what WandaVision was. And I appreciate it. Ray, you watch it. Now, Ray, I know you're like me. You did not love the first couple of episodes of Hawkeye. And I'm curious, what did you think of the third episode? Without giving any spoilers away, of course, what did you think of the third one? What was your overall impression?
Well, to be clear, I thought they were boring, but I liked the back and forth between Clint and Kate.
They had a good dynamic.
And I like a lot of the Clint lines and stuff like that. This one, it was better. It was better, but I'm starting to think to be honest, I don't need to stay up that late to watch the episode. I can wait on it. You know what I mean? It's it's not enough for me to stop watching it, but to stay up and watch the episode, no.
Kim, what did you think of it?
First of all, I didn't stay up and watch the episode. I went to bed and then I set an alarm and then I woke up. So it is worth waking up at midnight. I think you two are traitors. I think this is amazing. I think it's awesome. The storytelling in this episode was so beautiful because, again, just like the first two episodes, you're seeing more of Clint as a father. You're seeing him, and you knew throughout all the Avengers movies, he's a dad, but just there's some scenes, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but that just grab your heart. I felt the action sequences were way better. The comedy is continuing. The comedy's very consistent. I love the appearance by my guy, Zahn McClarnon from Reservation Dogs. I love that he was in there. And I feel one thing, I don't agree with you, John, so much on your thoughts on Hawkeye, but one thing I do agree with is that this episode, I felt like Kate was in her place. This is where she
Yeah.
should have been from the start, where we get some of her and we're like, she's funny, she's quirky, she is super talented with the bow and the sword and the martial arts. But I like that this was Clint centric. It was focused on him, and then she popped in there. I think the formula was great, just as much as she needed to be in there. But I got more of him, and I'm excited. I'm excited / bummed. I can't believe there's only 3 more episodes.
I know it is really weird to think about that we are literally now, after just 2 weeks, we're halfway through the series. So I mean, it's gonna be
I
interesting
want
to see where
more.
they go. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping episode 4 continues this upward trajectory. Remember, guys, a little bit later today, 4 p.m. Los Angeles time. You figure out what that is in your time zone. We will do our open spoiler discussion for it. We hope you join you for that. Anyway, guys, how did you feel about Hawkeye episode 3? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.